Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Friends Podcast, man. Thank you so much for joining us again. And if it's your first time, thank you for coming through and listening to what we have to say today.
Uh-huh.
So let me go ahead and introduce myself. My name is Matt, and I'm here with my co-host.
My name is Rod. I'm back again. This is the Friends Podcast. Make sure you're subscribing to the channel. We're on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, YouTube. So make sure you're checking in with us.
Yeah, man, please do, man. Tap in for sure. So let's start how we usually start, man. So what was going on with you like this past week?
This week has been pretty good. I just got my new scooter, electric scooter gang. My last scooter, I had got hit by a car like about a month ago. I turned that shit in for insurance, and they gave me a little money back for my scooter, so I went ahead and bought a new one. This one goes faster though, so maybe it's a blessing in disguise. I'll be able to get around a little bit quicker. Yeah, just make sure if you are riding and stuff like that with the scooter, some people just don't know how to stop at a fucking stop sign.
Yeah, that's fucked up. Like, that's crazy that you really got hit. Like, but you ain't get injured too bad though, did you?
Now I jumped off, but he just like kept driving and like he fucked my shit up. He destroyed it, made him give me some bread on the spot, and I copped the insurance.
Oh, so he actually stopped.
Once he ran my shit over, I took a picture of his license plate and everything.
Hell yeah. Nah, I feel that. Because, some people just keep going, though. If they hit somebody or something.
Yeah, I mean, if he did, I mean, I'm a civilian. I call the cops.
No cap.
So that was the plan that I was going to do anyway. It would have been a lot worse if he ran away.
Nah, for real. Like, that's leaving the scene of a crime, for real.
Yeah, I would have been in a neck brace in that fucking house.
For real. Nah, for real.
So how your week go?
Man, not too bad. Everything's pretty good on my end. Y'all gotta excuse my voice for today. I just, I went out last night, doing a few things, a couple things. So my voice is kind of fucked up, a little shaky right now. But
they was wilding at strip club, huh?
I mean, I wouldn't say the strip club. That would have been nice though. I haven't been in the strip club in a minute. But
lost your voice in that bitch.
Imagine screaming in the strip club. Who's doing that? Like, what are you doing? That is not the place for screaming. But yeah, man, y'all gotta excuse my voice. I'm gonna power through it. We're gonna get this great episode out for you guys, man. So without further ado, let's get into these topics, man, for sure. So I guess you want to intro the first one?
Yeah, so the first one I want to talk about is it's a fight that's about to happen. Fight night. Blueface rapper versus Nick Young, ex-basketball player. Who you think gonna win?
Just off the strength, I'm saying Nick Young. I'm thinking Swaggy P gonna go ahead and take that. Just, I mean, he got actual. Even though actually, who did Blueface box? He boxed. Damn.
He faced somebody else in the boxing.
Yeah, it was somebody recently. So he actually got boxing experience. It was a YouTuber. Yeah, it was. I forgot who it was. Though.
Kane. I don't even know how to say his last name. Kane T.
Okay. Yeah, so I mean, it could be Blueface. I don't know.
It was just a YouTuber. It wasn't.
But that
no
YouTube
athlete for real.
Yeah, but it's a lot of YouTube boxers out here that really like train for real. So it's like they actually be doing like some kind of something. You know what I mean? So I could imagine Blueface been at training for a minute. So I mean, he could take it.
He gotta really step up if he don't want to end up like Nate Robinson, because Nate Robinson made all basketball players look bad.
Terrible, bro.
Like all that working out in the gym, all that shooting around don't mean nothing in the ring.
Turn straight into a meme. That shit is crazy. Who you feel gonna take it though?
I mean, when I think of Blueface baby, I think of the guy who he did be up the YouTuber in the boxing ring, so he has a bit of experience. He has a bit of experience like fighting his mom and his sister. So,
right, yeah. And he got a boxing club too for the bad girls club. Shit, he do.
Yeah, and then he a Crip.
He is a Crip.
So I mean, I feel like he got a bit. He definitely been around. He know how to fight. Nick Young, I haven't heard too much about his fighting ability.
I don't know.
He always making jokes, smiling, laughing.
Yeah.
And what I seen from Nate Robinson, I mean, I'm gonna have to give this one to Blueface.
Yeah, that smile and laugh and shit don't translate to the ring. Like shit, you get your ass knocked out.
And obviously it don't matter how much you work out or in the gym because
Mm-mm.
the way Logan Paul made Nate Robinson look.
Man. Yeah, I don't know, bro. I think it's gonna be an interesting match. We probably gonna have to pay out the ass for it though. I wonder how much it is.
I can't wait to see Gilbert Arenas if Nick Young lose. That's really what I want to see.
Oh my god, the joke's going. Oh my god.
Like he can't go in there and lose because Nick Young has been calling out a lot of people in the ring. I saw that he called out Logan Paul. That was one of the people he did call out. He called out Gilbert Arenas to fight. And he called out Blueface. So he's been calling people out. So this is his first time in the ring. So hopefully he practicing.
Shit, he better be. So I guess it's about to be next month. So I guess everybody stay tuned for that if you fuck with boxing and shit like that. I'm not no big boxing fan like that, but I definitely tune in just to see Swaggy P get knocked out. Because I think that's what, like, I want to give it to Swaggy P because he's an athlete and he been working out NBA training. But like,
I'm gonna find a link on Twitter like I normally do.
nah. I'm gonna be on Reddit with it for sure. So that's gonna be interesting to see, man. So yeah, I guess on to the next.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, so I guess next let's talk about kind of in that basketball realm. We were already talking about like Nick Young, who's a former NBA player. So I guess let's kind of talk about what's going on in the finals right now, man. So Game 4, I don't want to date the podcast, but Game 4 was yesterday, and Celtics shit the bed again. They shit the bed, man. So it looks like Golden State took that W yesterday. W for Warriors. Did you see the game?
I saw parts of the game. Yes, I did. Yeah, I mean, Steph Curry played unbelievable in Game 4. I think he had like 43 or something like that. And yeah, I mean, he stepped it up as the leader of the team should. I can't say the same for some of the other leaders on the team, like Draymond Green, who's had a very poor performance throughout the entire playoffs. And I would really say this year in terms of scoring, because I saw like his record for this season. I mean, he's only averaging about 7 points this season.
Man.
So it's not like when I see all these like reports from Draymond Green, he just doesn't seem like a leader of the team. He's not practicing. He's not in the gym. And it just seemed like every season he's just getting worse and worse for someone so young in his career.
But Draymond Green, he not expected to go get buckets though, for real. Like, he not no bucket getter.
Yeah, I mean, he's averaging about like 7 rebounds, 7 assists a game. So
yeah, I mean, everybody play that role.
But like, yeah, you can't go in a game and you playing 35 to 40 minutes and you only scoring 2 points though at the same time.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah, that's sad, man. And then let's kind of talk about the Celtics too, like, because like one of our observations, excuse me, one of my observations from yesterday was like, Jason Tatum, 6 turnovers. Like, what is you doing, Jason Tatum? Like, I feel like they really need to run this shit through Jaylen Brown. Like, Jaylen Brown, to me, better than Jason Tatum. And you can see that in the numbers yesterday. You can see it in the numbers across the season. You know what I mean? So I think they need to run it through JB versus
I think they're
JT.
just a better team general. I don't think Jason Tatum is really the one that's running the offense anyways. Like, I think it's mostly the point guard and Jay, the shooting guard, like what you're saying. I think they're the ones that mainly runs the offense. I feel like Jason Tatum's good at playing his role, and he's scoring like a Klay Thompson. I don't think he's necessarily running the offense. And every game and throughout the season, he's been strong. We saw what he did to the Brooklyn Nets. It didn't matter that Kevin Durant or Kyrie was on the same team. We saw when he played Miami Heat, and you saw that Jimmy Butler and everything like that. Even Horford's been playing real crazy in these finals. Like,
right.
So shout out to the Boston, like the good teamwork. And I think they're the most overall great team just from both sides of the court, offense and defensive.
No, I agree. And I'm hoping they take this shit over, but
I think they will. I got Boston in 6.
I don't know. So you think they're going to win the next 2 games in Golden State?
Boston in 6.
I don't know, bro. They've been good on the road though. They've been pretty good on the road. I think they won like 8 playoff games on the road so far. So I don't know. It really could. I feel like it could still go either way because it's tied up. It's 0-0 at this point. It's 2-2, so it's 0-0. So
Even
anybody can
though
win.
Draymond Green is from Michigan State, so shout out to State,
Shout out.
and we was
And he from
there
Saginaw. Okay.
there at
Go
the
ahead.
same time while he was going to school and playing the game. So we seen you and Tom Izzo, how you played back then. You wasn't necessarily the star back then either.
He was hooping.
He was hooping,
Yeah.
yeah, for sure, but he wasn't the star. I mean, he started it.
he
So,
did. He did. Yeah.
so I mean, like he's a good role player. He knows how to pass the ball, get the ball off. But it's just, I think there's just things that he can work on in the offseason to make his game a whole lot better. And shooting is just, I don't think you should be declining and scoring 2 points every single game in the playoffs.
Yeah, like they need something. Like I said, he not the point scorer, but they need more than 2 buckets
Yeah.
though.
It's like if they lose this season, it's obvious who they probably need to trade.
I don't know. I mean, they did get a good pickup though. They got Wiggins. Wiggins is looking pretty good.
They get another big man that can actually score and get rebounds.
It's
That's
over with.
already way better than what Draymond's producing right now. All these fouls. And I'm not saying like Draymond is a championship player, so
Oh yeah, for sure.
he still has time in this series to pull it back together. Everybody been saying maybe because of his podcast at the end of the show that
Yeah.
could be playing into his performance. He's more prepared for his podcast than the game. So that's what Kendrick Perkins is saying. Maybe there's some truth to it. Maybe he's just all into the media side of things and not much into being a player and improving himself as a player.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna ask you. I'm like, he's not too bad at commentating and shit like that. Like,
Yeah, I
he could
love him in the commentary.
yeah, he could definitely make a seamless transition when it's time for that. But like, when you still in the NBA finals, like, what is you doing? This is not the time for that. You know what I mean? So I don't know. We're gonna see what happens. You say Celtics in 6. I say Celtics in 7. Because I feel like winning 2 times in a row in Golden State is tough in the finals, you know. But I don't know. Maybe we'll see a Steph decline though, because I feel like Steph has kind of been shaky in the finals before, in the playoffs before.
That's the thing. I don't think it's up to Steph. Steph been playing great this overall, in my opinion, in the playoffs. It's role players that aren't playing up the par that they need them to do.
But
And that's what Boston's doing. Everyone's playing their part. Everyone's scoring. They're passing the ball around. They're looking good out there. It's just Golden State is not looking good right now in terms of the teamwork.
that's what I'm saying. If Steph declines, then it's a dub. Like, it's over with. Because if he been playing great and he don't play good 1 game or 2 games, it's over. Because ain't nobody else gonna pick up the slack. Clay not gonna pick it up. Draymond definitely not gonna pick it up. Like, I mean, maybe Wiggins will get some buckets, but I don't know.
If he would have got hurt when Andre Horford fell on him, it would have been a wrap for sure for him. So, I mean, let's go ahead and move on to the next topic, and this one's a bit very sad, actually. It just happened recently. This seems like it's always happening. Every other week we have to go on here and kind of discuss a rapper who has passed away.
Yeah.
Trouble. From Air Drummers, Mike Will's camp. He passed away. Apparently it was at least from the story that I saw, it was a woman that he was at an apartment building with. And the guy walked in and altercation happened and he shot and killed Trouble, the artist. There was another report of another rapper who recently passed. Man, it just seemed like it's an attack on these. Man, I'm just sick of it, man, on these rappers and the music and just culture in general. But FBG Cash, the death of him as well. If you guys look up his name, you'll see that there was some back and forth between Lil Durk, King Von, and the Chicago group and him. So
yeah, I think he had just he took a picture recently in front of the King Von mural, like with the middle fingers up or some shit like that. So he was in O Block, like, disrespecting King Von. I don't know if that's related, but
Yeah, Stop the Drills at one of our past episodes.
drill is done.
Like really just we gotta stop harming each other and like really take a look inside about what we can do as a people to because I mean this is what they want us to do. They want us to be against each other. They want us to shoot and kill each other because when we doing
Hmm.
that, we're separated.
We're not uniting. Yeah.
We need to unify. We need to have the conversation, communicate. We need to figure out what's best for our community. We need to pull resources within our communities. And we need to stop the violence. Gangs in the back of the day, it wasn't all about the violence, it was about helping people. But
Hmm.
going back to these stories, it's just a sad thing that I'm just sick of hearing. I'm sick of talking about. But
But
we run a podcast here, so
so let me offer you this though, because I remember Mo Vega. We kind of spoke about like beef and shit with Mo Vega on our interview. Y'all go check that out if y'all get a chance. And he said like when it's bloodshed, like ain't nobody about to let that go, and it's obviously bloodshed. So it's like, what's your thoughts on that? Like, what? How can people get over shit or drop shit when people died over the gangs, over the colors? Like, how can you do that?
I think that's very hard. I've never been in that predicament where I've had bloodshed by another member of another crew who wanted my life because something that maybe happened to their crew or their family. But that is something very hard to get over. But when is the cycle gonna end? Are you just gonna keep shooting and killing each other until your whole family lineage is just completely gone?
Right.
Is that
Yeah.
is that the point? Is that the plan? Um, I think it goes with educating the youth and giving them different opportunity, resources in the neighborhoods, showing them that they don't have to join these games. There's different things that they can do outside of the negativity. They can be positive. They can do
Hmm.
sports. They could join camps, education, STEM related, arts related. There's a bunch of things that they can do out here. But I feel like it's up to the people that's being their guardian, people that's looking over them and who has a voice that's strong enough to reach them and make them feel like what they're saying is a possibility for them. Because I feel like a lot of people and these kids, they just don't see the possibility. Because in that circumstance, like, because what they going through, it's like how you gonna tell somebody who don't have nothing that they can overcome when they ain't never seen it themselves?
Right. Right. Right.
And I think that's just a lot of what's going on.
Yeah, I think that's a good point. And like, you know, opportunities. Like, where's the opportunities? Like, you could tell somebody they can overcome some shit, but like, who's gonna offer them that opportunity to overcome it? Like, who's gonna advocate for that person? Like, it's not a lot of advocates. You know what I mean? Like, people that's really offering things for people to get out of the situation that they in. So I think that's another factor. There's a lot of factors that go into it. Like, it's not just that people just violent. Like, it just be circumstances. You know what I mean?
You got to find those
And
local clubs and organizations who really is out there doing the work and not just
yeah.
trying to take advantage because of the name and buying their own properties or homes and try to
Yeah.
just only care about themselves and who they are. You got to like really focus on the people who's out there really doing the work and giving back to the community, actually going out there and talking to the kids. Those are the people who need the funds. Those are the people that's actually going to reach the youth. And those are the people that we need to be escalated up in a conversation.
Right. 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 Totally agree. So yeah, it's just sad, man. Like you said, like we had to keep coming on here and talking about this shit, and we don't have to talk about it. Like we could have not brought it up, but I think it
It's
just
important.
yeah, it's important. I just think it's important to reflect. Like, even though we don't know these people, never met these people. Like, I've listened to Trouble over the years for sure. Like, I like his music. I have some of his music on my playlist. Um, but at the end of the day, strip away everything. It's just like another black man that's dead because
Yeah.
over because he was with somebody girl. Like,
And I just hate to see like just stupid accidents and like things that happen and occur. Like just this morning, I got a call from my father about a family friend who just passed away. He was skiing and stuff like that, and he fell off his ski into the water and then popped back up. Man,
Yeah.
shit like that when I hear it's very hard to hear, and I'm still really at the point where I'm trying to comprehend what happened, because he was someone that he was an engineer that when I was younger, I was like, oh, this black male dude around is like he's doing well for himself, and someone that I looked at that kind of made me feel like, oh, it is possible, like I was saying before, and made me kind of almost like put me in the direction of engineering and things of that nature. So, like I even stayed at his home during the internship in Detroit with like his cousin and stuff, like his house that he had there. So I mean, it definitely hits close to home, and man, you just gotta hold people close and make sure that you constantly. I don't know. You gotta tell people that you like really, like you care from, that you love them, that they're something that you think about, because you never know when someone's life is gonna end.
You never know. You never know. Yeah, we keep getting these examples that show this. Like, death is imminent, like, for sure. So it's like, you got to make the most of this shit. You got to tell people that you love them, that you care about them, like you said. Like, that's all we can do at the end of the day, because we don't know our day. But
And that's the only thing that seems to be promised is death.
facts.
I know that
and
seems so dark.
Death in Texas. Which is, I mean, I don't know. You can look at it. It's different ways to look at it, though. Like, you can look at it as a dark way, or you can just be a realist about it. Like, I feel like I'm a realist about it. Like, everybody's going to die. Like, it is what it is. I came to terms with that a long time ago, but like, I don't know. It could be dark though. You could say it's a dark, morbid thing, but like, how could something that's inevitable be dark and morbid? It's reality, you know? So, it's all about
Are
dealing with it.
emos realist?
No, because I feel like that's more just being like depressed and just like sad, like a sad person. Like, that's more like that. Like that's different. That's a little bit different than that. But like, I don't know, man. I think it's just perspective though. Like, you got to just deal with it the way you can deal with it, in a safe
Yeah.
way. Hopefully not in a harmful way.
I try to always find the positive in things and laugh.
You
Even
have
though
to.
what we're talking about is
Yeah.
it's definitely sad, but
Yeah.
it's important to keep your spirits high, and also the family members of who deceased keep their spirits high, because I think when people pass, or I wouldn't want to be left behind or have people left behind that feeling so sad about my death. I want them to celebrate who I was and
Mm-hmm.
be happy, move forward. Don't ruin your life or get so depressed over what happened to me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I wouldn't want that to happen to you. So I'm sure that's how a lot of these other people who passed away feel the same way.
For sure. For sure. Like, you got to deal with it. Like, deal with it in a good way. I mean, it's easier said than done, though.
Right. It
Like,
takes time.
When it's somebody that you can't ever talk to again, like, that's just like, damn. Like, it's definitely a jarring feeling. You know what I mean? So I get it. But yeah, I mean, I guess try not to sulk people, because everybody going through something. Everybody done lost somebody, so it's like, and everybody deal with it in a different way. Speaking of death, though, like, I feel like I don't want to be buried, or I don't want to have like a funeral or like be buried. Like, just cremate me. Like, really don't even acknowledge it for real. Like, just let me go, because I feel like that's just a lot. Like, I don't like the idea of funerals and shit like that. But that's just me. Like, do you have any thoughts on that? Like,
Nah, I ain't never thought about my death.
no?
No, I'm alive.
Shit, me too. But like, hey, death is imminent.
Do what you do. Do the regular. Don't put me in no flames.
No.
Nah,
Or if I could be a tree.
Do me the regular way.
Nah, I don't
I
want
don't
that
want to
shit.
be a tree. Like, I don't want to be wearing nobody's finger. You know how they be pinning the ashes. like,
Shit.
nah.
Nah,
Like
I feel that.
just throw me in the dirt like everybody else.
No, I can't do that. I just feel like I don't know. Maybe I'm just trying to be a contrarian, just do some different shit. But like, just make me
Like,
a tree, bro.
only thing I say is like the reception. Don't be sad at the reception.
Hell no.
Like I want you guys to have fun. I want you to turn up, have a good time, and really be happy from a memory. Talk about the good times. Like, I'm not trying to have everyone just sad at my passing.
Yeah, for what? Why you come if you sad? Like,
But
be
yeah,
sad at home.
don't burn me up.
No. What's wrong with that though? What's wrong with cremation? You really just don't want to be burnt up like that. Like, is that what it is?
That's really what it is.
Like, what? I mean, I feel that.
I just ain't trying to be burnt. Like, passing alive or dead. Like, just don't burn me.
No cap.
I'm good on that.
Nick, put me in the oven, goddammit. But all right, man, let's move on. You trying to get into the discussion questions?
Like, hell no. Someone just be like, like,
damn.
Just pull you on, just scraping up your ass and putting it in the urine. Like, fuck out of here. I ain't trying to sell nobody counter.
Like a pizza. Put you in the oven like a pizza is crazy.
Yeah. Like, I saw like a recent story of a woman who just recently with the jail and stuff like that. She threw her boyfriend's ashes who cheated on her, her mother, his mother's ashes in the water. Like, that wouldn't have been a problem. She was in the dirt.
That's true.
Like, it wouldn't have been that easy for her to just go and grab your mom and throw her in the water because what you did. Now you both looking crazy.
Looking stupid.
She in jail looking dumb. Like, he looking at the water looking dumb.
Man.
Like, it's just, I don't even want to have that opportunity or that thought go through somebody's head. We could just throw me in the water. Well, I'm already in the ground.
Yeah, it's hard to dig somebody up, for sure.
Yeah, exactly. It takes a lot of effort.
Take your ass off the counter, boy.
So,
it's crazy.
Don't have me just sitting on the counter.
At least have the counter clean. Like, come on now.
Yeah. All right, this is dark comedy, but let's go ahead and move on to the next topic. In life, what's something that you will want to change?
In life?
Yeah, if you could change anything in your life, if anything, what would you change?
I don't know, man. I think it's a lot of things. I think I would, if I could change shit, I would go back to like when I was 14.
Be white?
No, definitely not be white. Definitely not be white.
Like Kodak Black?
I'm a suburban guy.
Nah, I'm Bill. Bill Capri.
Nah, I would go back to like being 14 and I would do high school all over again. Not because I loved high school, but just because I would do it differently. Knowing what I know now, I would like be more outgoing than I was. Like, that's one of my biggest regrets. I think that's something I would change. I don't know if that answers your question, but like the
question is for you. Like, whatever you believe that the answer to B is your answer.
Yeah, I would say like everything in my life right now, like anything specifically right now about my life that I would change, like
changing your high school, I don't think it will necessarily change what's going on today.
It might though. It might, because I might go a whole different route for real. Like, I might have never went to Michigan State, because the reason why I went to Michigan State is because I hated being in Alabama so much. So I was like, damn, like I have to get out of Alabama. So like I was like, let me go to Michigan. So, but if I actually applied myself and was actually active in school and like really being a social person, maybe I would have stayed in Alabama and I would never came back to Michigan. So it's like, I don't know. That's one of the things that I kind of twirl around in my head with sometimes. Like, damn, what if I would have did high school differently? Or what if I would have like
went to a black university instead?
I stayed.
That's
right
sometimes what I think about. Like, if I just went to a black university, maybe like somewhere in North Carolina.
Yeah, NCAT
or like
NCCU.
Atlanta.
Yeah.
Sometimes I think about that. Like, if I didn't go to a white institution, my experience would have probably been a lot different.
It would have
been around a bunch of my people. I feel like it might have been teachers who actually cared more about whether I failed or passed.
Right. Yeah.
Not that I feel like I definitely I'm gonna shout out the diversity programs office at Michigan State University.
Oh yeah.
What Theodore Calt was doing there, I think he's doing a great thing there. He is giving a lot of opportunities, he's giving a lot of money and grant money to Black students, and he is trying to create a bit of community at Michigan State for Black people who's in the STEM fields.
Mm-hmm.
So I believe that he was on the right path. And when you talk about giving someone who's Black those resources and who's actually there on the ground helping people,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I can't say that I wasn't helped in that instance. It's hard to like go back and be like, like if I could do this thing different or if I could do that thing different, because it's like even if you did those things different, you never know how your life would have ended up.
That's
If you
true.
would have went to a different school, I mean, you could have ended up in trouble, or you could have been not finished, or you might have not had the same opportunities for you. You might have not been so prompted to study for things or classes.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You might have dropped out. So it's hard to say what could have happened or what would have happened if you did this or you did that.
Is there anything specifically you can think of that you would change in your life though, like at this current moment?
See, that's why I'm just saying. Like, it's hard to say what I would change because if I change things, then would I be a different person? Like,
Possibly.
that's why I was saying I try to take it to a different point of view. I was like, oh, if you can be white or if you can be a different race, would
Yeah.
you do it? Like, if you,
No way.
and it's just like I don't know. At this point, like it kind of is what it is, and I'm kind of dealt the cards that I'm dealt,
Mm-hmm.
and it's up for me to like build up what I got. And if I don't do it, it's just my fault. Like I don't take. It's not anybody else's fault. It's not anything that maybe I did wrong. Maybe it just wasn't in my cards.
Mm-hmm.
But as long as I'm satisfied with what I got going on, which at this point I'm doing exactly what I want to do. I mean, maybe my career field would have been different. Like, I guess that's one thing I would have did. I probably wanted to do engineering. If I can go back, I probably would have did business school.
Mm.
To be honest, but that's probably the only thing.
And I think it's two different ways to look at the questions. Like, what would you change if you could go back, or what would you change currently? Like, I feel like for currently, um, I would change where I live. Like, I don't want to live in Michigan. Like, that's just how I feel.
That's
But
either easy to move.
it's easy to move. It is, but that's something I would change currently. But if I could go back, like I said, I'm gonna go back to 14 when I just first started making beats. Like,
That could be a family thing though, because your family's there.
it is. No, that's really one of the main reasons why I'm still here, and I still got a couple homies here and shit like that. But maybe one day I'm gonna have to get out of here one day. Like, I can't deal with
But
this
your
winter
family
shit.
could always move as well.
Yeah, they've been talking about it, so I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see what happens in the future. But let's move on from that question. That was a good discussion. Let's get into kind of in the same vein a little bit. We were just talking about college a little bit. So, like, making new friends after college, like, what has your experience been like? Do you feel like it's kind of an easy thing to do? Do you feel like it gets better with time or worse with time? Like, how do you feel about it?
In my experience with making new friends, this is a good ass question. It's I feel like the older people get, especially males, and in that sense, the older we get, we don't care too much about making no more new friends. It's more or less, especially when you get to the point where you're having kids and you have a wife.
Mm-hmm.
It's like that's all you really care about. It's like I don't really care to make any more new friends. Like you're just trying to be with your wife and your kids and kind of who you got at the point at that moment or whatever.
Right, right. That's your friends.
Yeah, exactly. So that's your responsibility and what you're thinking about. But
Mm-hmm. And I would expect my wife to be my best friend, like for real.
yeah,
You know what I
exactly.
mean? So it's like, But I feel like it's also your personality type. Like if you're an extroverted person, then you probably will want to make friends throughout life, like forever. But as an introvert, like me personally, I'm like, I would love to have more people to hang around, but like I just don't have the energy most of the time to converse. So it's just like I don't know.
To be honest, me personally, I don't really at this point in my life, I don't just want new friends and like I want friends if they're like successful. Like I guess I want a better network.
Yeah, yeah,
Like in that sense, and like people who's more like minded and doing good for themselves. I like to hear good things, like positivity, like what's going on. Like it motivates me, like to be like, oh, like I'm friends with this guy. Like it motivates me to try to do better for myself.
hmm
I don't want someone who's always complaining or just life ain't going good like all the time and stuff like that. It's like,
yeah.
yeah,
Nobody likes a friend like that.
yeah. I mean, I get that shit happens and things like that, but also it's not all about what the network. I mean, if the person's legitimately a good person at heart, and I feel like that's really what I look at, like in terms of like friends who I communicate with. If I feel like they're good in their heart, then like yeah, we cool. It's like I feel like people just kind of take things a little bit too deep. It's like you connect with who you connect with.
Yeah, yeah,
Um, People have different motives between what they do. It's like I've definitely had friends in the past who they only want you for something, or they think that you're gonna be something, so they want to be friends with you
yeah,
instead
yeah.
of just being friends with you, like for who you are and just for the sake of liking your company.
Yeah, that's an interesting route to take it. And also on that note, I remember the homie Josh used to always talk about like being friends with people because of proximity. Because like people in college, like you're all in the same dorm, you all like going to the same classes, so it's like you're gonna be close to the people that you in college with. Because
That's
it's like
not
y'all all.
true.
What you mean? You don't agree
There's
with that?
plenty of people I was in proximity with that I cut off.
But I'm saying
Like
at the time.
at the time too. Like I had a friend Alex.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
just
yeah.
like I lived with them. I went to high school, middle school with them, and I just realized it was just like we just going down a different path. Like
Right.
I
That's
couldn't do
different.
it.
That's different. Yeah.
I had friends in high school that I felt that way. I was just like, he said nigga one time, and he was a white dude, and I'm just like, I just can't fuck with you.
No.
Like it's not proximity. It's just like who you want to be around.
hmm
Like there's people that even was in Josh's life that who didn't want to communicate with him as much. It's just you as a person.
I,
It's
I
just like
think it plays a
it's where
factor.
it's where they're going in life and how they think.
hmm
And I like if they see like your ideas is kind of like differing from how they are as a person, maybe they just didn't think he was a good person.
Yeah.
Like
That's what it is.
yeah, I don't think it's necessarily proximity. I think it's just your heart. Like
I
they could,
think I think it plays a factor when you're in college though. Like when you're there, it does play a factor because you're not gonna just not be with nobody. Like you gotta kick it with somebody. You know what I mean? And people are close just because we live on the same hall. I see you in the hall. I see you in the engineering hall. Like you know what I mean? Like it's just I feel like it's a factor, but I think what you're saying is right too because yeah, people you can still discern.
yeah. I mean, there's thousands of people. It's like if that's the case, you would
Right.
be friends with everyone.
I mean,
But
true.
you still pick the certain people that are doing what you're doing. Like
Yeah.
all right. So I did engineering.
hmm
There was plenty of white kids in my classes and
Right.
things of that nature. But none of them wanted to be like really like get close to me or like work with me or like help me or trying to be in like study groups. I
hmm
never got that kind of treatment.
Mm.
And I found black students, people in the DPO to study with and like to help me out.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I don't think it's necessarily proximity. It's still who you want to be around.
Right.
Like, at least that's what. Like at least that was my experience.
I see what you mean. Yeah, I think that's a good point too. Like, yeah, it doesn't necessarily have to be proximity. But in terms of like for me making new friends, I think it's hard. I don't know if males specifically, because you said like males don't care about making new friends at a certain age. I don't know if
Yeah,
that's
because
true
I
for
don't
real.
know. Yeah, that's because I don't know women point of view from it.
Yeah, we
But
definitely got to get somebody else's point of view.
I know it's hard for them. Probably even more than males.
I feel like it's easier for women because women can just vibe on just like.
Nah, I think it's easier for males to get friends.
You think so?
Yeah, because
I mean,
I
women can go to the club, shake their ass, and they see a girl that's shaking their ass too. Like they might, you know what I'm
don't know.
saying, be
I
cool.
think more women have more catty talk about each other than males do,
Yeah.
and they're more willing because like women don't really. I'm just saying my point of view. So I don't know. I mean, you could tell us they don't fight as much. Like if you say something about a dude, the first thing in his mind is probably he's gonna want to fight you or scrap with you. It's not just going back and forth and
Right.
going on the social media and all that shit. After a point, it's gonna be like, all right, like bro, like pull
Yeah.
up.
Right.
Like it's not too much
And no back
back
and
and
forth like
forth.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like that. Like, and
Hmm.
then dudes just like, I mean, you can go somewhere and like see a dude that look like you, and like they're watching the game and shit like that. You can easily be like, yo, what team you going for? Blah blah. Like, kind of
Right.
communicate and
Strike
like,
it up like that. Yeah.
yeah. I mean, they may not be your best friend or friend for real, but it's like at that moment, like it's the
Hmm.
same experience that you would have with your boys in a sense. It's like,
Pretty much. Yeah. And I think, and there's also a difference between friends and acquaintances. So it's like new acquaintances. That's a given. Like you're gonna have acquaintances, like our work people or acquaintances, like people you might meet at the bar. That's an acquaintance. Like we ain't got to become friends and kick it, but let's have a conversation while we're here. Like let's get into some shit. So I think that's a thing that happens. But I just think that especially coming from a school with 50,000 people, like you got so many people to be friends with, and then you go live somewhere. You might work at a company with 5,000 people, and it's like, oh, okay, so I don't have as many options now. Um,
yeah,
Especially if you don't do no shit outside of work, because a lot of people just go to work and go home. So it's like, how are you even making friends? You know?
yeah.
Um,
I've definitely been in that situation. I feel like more or less when I was in college and a few years after college,
mhm.
I found friends that I thought like, okay, like going kind of back, like having a good heart.
Yeah.
They may have had a good heart, but they weren't intelligent or any drive.
Okay. Yeah.
That's okay. I'm intelligent might be a bad word.
I'm like, damn, nigga stupid.
I'm gonna say drive.
Okay.
Like it was just obvious. Just certain circumstances that we would be in, it would just be like if you always got your hand out or we can't like never really go do anything because just what you personally got going on. Um, it's hard to talk about without naming names because I don't want to get too deep into certain people.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a dude. I'm gonna just say a letter named G,
Hmm.
and I met him around and stuff like that. Dude was cool and everything. I mean, realized he had a bit of a drug problem,
A little bit.
and I still like kind of looked out for him in a sense, just like because we was boys or whatever at the time. And then it just sometimes like they get too comfortable and they just do things that like I had like someone at the time and then a friend or whatever. And like he literally tried to attack them in a sense. Or just because like it wasn't, I don't think he was literally gonna do it, but it was just like he probably was just on the powder, and he lunged forward at a woman.
Yeah.
And it was just like at that point it's like I had to cut him off. Like I couldn't talk to him anymore at that point. Because no matter how good of a heart or anything like that, it's just like now it comes down to values and how you able to communicate, how you're able to associate with other people. Do you have enough common sense? Are you doing anything with your life? Are you working towards anything? Or is it always about just catching a high?
Yeah.
And
And go ahead.
that's just, I mean, that's when you kind of come to like disassociate with people. So it's like back then, like maybe that was, I don't know why, but I feel like I just always found troubled friends that I would connect with. Like now today it's just like I'm not necessarily looking for that. Like I kind of steer away. Like,
and you know, that's what I was gonna say though. I think it's tough though, because that's the tough thing for me about making friends is like how can I become friends with you if I don't know your character yet? Like I gotta know your character before I can even really kick it with you. You know, and it's kind of hard to know that unless you see them in certain situations. So it's like you saw him in that situation and you saw like, oh, nah, he not doing no stand-up man type shit. Like that's some shit that's you can't argue with that. Like we not going for none of that. So it's like,
no matter how much we laugh and chill together, relax, whatever, like just go and hang out, go to bars, whatever we did. Pause. But yeah, I mean at the time it's just, I don't know, you gotta kind of just look within and realize, hey, it might be time to like maybe like the time of offense, whatever goes wrong, you may just have a conversation, but after that it's kind of just like it is what it is.
Yeah, definitely got to check them on that. Like check your friends,
but
man.
some things are just like too far that be like it's out of my hands. It's like at that point it's like I had someone close to me and it was a close friend of theirs, so it's just like I had to just chalk it up and just completely just not be in any more contact.
Yeah, I think that's.
I mean, I guess I didn't have to be, but I chose to be because I saw like the
that's your
actions
character,
and everything.
though.
Like, I'm just like, I couldn't associate with them anymore.
Yeah, nah, we're not doing that. So it's like that's tough. Like, who's who? That's why I don't like getting close to people, because like once you show me that you ain't that you on some goofy shit, then I can't even. Then it's like, damn, I wasted my time. Like I thought you was cool, but you on some goofy shit. Like you on some trying to assaulting women shit. You on some like anything that I don't agree with. So that's what's tough for me.
I'm not saying that maybe in the future if I seen some article in the newspaper how they just saved some kid's life, or like maybe there was a hero or something.
Yeah.
Or they changing their life for the better, they become a better professional. Like maybe then, but when we get back together and we connect, it'll be on a higher level.
Right.
We're not gonna be on that same page when we're down bad. It's more the conversation of where we're at now and moving forward.
Facts. So yeah, in conclusion, yeah, it's tough. It's tough. We got to do it though. We can't do this life shit alone. So I guess we got to go out, make acquaintances, make friends, and shit like that.
Yeah, I know it's hard to make friends out there. So for all the listeners, don't give up. We're not saying don't try to make friends or don't try to communicate with other people, because that's never really the option. You definitely want to get out there and talk to people, and you're gonna meet some people that you fuck with and people that you don't. So, I mean, grab a friend number who you happen to meet, and maybe it might be a homie. Like, you never know. I'm not trying to advocate for not being like no new friends. That's not what I'm doing here. So I just want to make that very obvious for the listeners.
And this is the Friends podcast, so shit, if y'all want to be our friends, hit us up.
Right.
You know what I mean? If you cool though, we don't fuck with no goofy shit though. Don't be a goofy, but
yeah, we definitely want to have some of y'all opinions as well.
Yeah, so definitely tap in with us. Let us know if we right, if we wrong, if we wildin', if we're spot on the money.
And this is the Friends podcast, and we are streaming on Apple Music, Amazon Music, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and YouTube. So check us out.
So let's go ahead and get into our segment that you guys hopefully love and hopefully not hate.
Yes, sir.
Let's get into our love and hate game. So this is where we take some, we go back and forth with some different, we've done albums of the past, but we're going to do singles, for the time being. So we're going to talk about some singles that we've heard recently and talk about if we love or if we hate them. So I guess, go ahead and kick it off.
All right. So the first one I got is Two Freaks by Sada Baby and Snoop Dogg.
Yeah, man, I just heard that one today. I thought it was pretty good. I like the way that it sounds. Yeah. I like this. You know what I'm saying? The beat was good. I really like the way Snoop was flowing on that shit. He came with like a different type of flow. Like he went on some like it was on some Snoop shit. It was on some like, but like on some updated Snoop shit, if that makes sense. So I liked Snoop on there. Sada Baby, I mean, I feel like it could have did without him, to be honest. So for that reason, I gotta say hate on that one. How did you hear it? How'd you feel about it?
I mean, it's cool.
It was just cool to you.
Song. I mean, Snoop Dogg these days, he's not trying to be the best rapper alive right now.
Nah, he not.
So it's normally he's just on his cool shit. He's catching a vibe, and he's kind of just with the youth. So I like that aspect of it, because there's a lot of artists out here that are older and who's so successful that they will never do a track with anybody,
right?
Of that caliber or that level. So when I see tracks like that, I do love that aspect for Snoop. I think more the older artists should connect with some of the younger artists. Maybe it'll kind of bridge the gap a bit. So
I agree.
Yeah. So what's your next track?
So let me go ahead and do this one right quick.
First track.
Yeah, the first one. Let's talk about Acting Up by Big Moochie Grape. How do you feel about that one? Love or hate?
All right. So Big Moochie Grape, he's a part of Paper Route Entertainment. Rest in peace, Young Dolph, another rapper who passed recently.
Yep.
Unfortunately. But Big Moochie Grape, he had this tape recently, and I just heard it probably like this past week. Just because I seen it like on the feed, on the Apple Music feed of new albums that came out. It was East Haiti Baby, and I saw like the cover art, and it kind of drew me in. I mean, I'm not mad at the song. I thought it was a pretty dope track. It's very reminiscent, like the flow is very reminiscent of Migos, but he did all the Migos himself. So
yeah,
I can't be mad. I think he's a very dope artist. He's one of those artists on this album, at least. He raps really fast, and I would like to see how he sounds on a record that's slowed down.
Okay.
And see kind of can he do other kind of flows or styles, or is it only just the Migos kind of flow? Yeah. But I mean, for this particular record, and my first time hearing them, I'm gonna say love. Like I fuck with the project overall. I just wish a bit more diversity in the project. Yeah, but I mean, I'm definitely gonna keep listening and checking them out. I mean, I would love to have them on a podcast.
Yeah, man. If you listen, to come on the show.
Yes, sir. Big Moochie Grape. All right, so the next track I'm gonna bring up is NBA YoungBoy Vet Motors.
This one, man, I like it. I like it. It's like a little bit of a change of pace from what NBA YoungBoy has been releasing lately. Like the beat a little bit different, like his flow. He like it's a little bit different. But to me, it's like I like it, and I'm definitely gonna play it like over and over again. But I'm not gonna say like that I love it because it don't give me that same feeling that some of his other songs give me. And I've
It's
heard it.
not
I've heard
necessarily
it.
a bad thing though.
That's true. That's true. But I don't love it though. I can't say that I love it because like some of his songs that I hear it and it's just like a feeling like, oh yeah, I fuck with this. Like it would just remind me of, you know what I'm saying, shit that I would like used to listen to like back in the day. Like it just remind me of that. This one wasn't really like that. But I still do like it, but I don't love it. So I gotta say hate. With that being said, let me get into my next one. So the next track I want to bring up is Body by 070 Shake and Christine and the Queens. How you feel about that one? Love or hate?
070 Shake. Man, you did one on this one. Like this whole project, amazing.
Yeah, I heard.
When I heard this project, I was surprised because I think this is her second album coming out
Mm-hmm.
after her first original. So she coming back with her number two. And you know, people when they come with that number two, that shit. Like she really came with that shit though.
For real.
It wasn't like a Roddy Ricch who came out with his shit.
Mm-hmm.
Like this album was fucking fire. And just so y'all listeners know what I'm talking about, it's the project You Can't Kill Me. Amazing title, amazing artwork. Like the artwork literally looks like something that would be next to the Mona Lisa. When I looked at it, I thought it was fucking dope. All the beats, the production. I know we're not talking about albums in general, but since I had the opportunity to talk about it and this song popped up, I want to let y'all know how much I really like this album, and y'all should check it out. But yeah, make sure you go check out Body, and check out the rest of the project too. Let us know what you think is some of the dopest tracks on this shit, or if it wasn't really your vibe, because I've been seeing it like this little thing that been going around, like academics.
Mm-hmm.
He asked some high school. It looks like they were high school football players. Who was the best album between this year
Yeah,
between I Never Liked You, which is future albums, and Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers, Kendrick Lamar.
man.
And that's it. Okay. I feel like you know what you're doing when you ask that crowd.
Right, right.
Like you know what it's gonna be when you ask some athletes, because already athletes are not the people who are not, they're not listening to music for content. They're looking for something to hype them up while they practice or work
Mm-hmm.
out or like
Right,
things like that nature.
right.
So they're not trying to get deep or really listen in or be in tune with like the music or the sound. So it's like, what's your purpose of going out there and like asking high school kids if they like this album more, like high school athlete kids if they like this album more than this other kid? If you ask some kids who were maybe in like AP courses or educated like from high school and be like, oh, you like this album more than this one, they're probably like chilling, like just listening to music, and I'm
Mm-hmm.
sure there may be more a bit diversity, but I just hate this narrative that people are trying to push with this Kendrick Lamar. They're saying,
Oh my
oh,
God! Don't do this.
I really hate it though. It's like you're gonna ask high school kids. It's like you just know the crowd or the like.
Yeah, he knew what he was doing.
Yeah, you know what you was doing. You know what you're trying to push. You know this narrative that you're trying to say, and it's just like it's not an accurate narrative. Like if you're a numbers dude, you looking at the numbers, you already see that's not what it is. Like he sold probably 3 times more than Future, so more people are tuning in and listening to Kendrick Lamar. But if you go and ask some high school kids, they're not the ones that's tuning in and listening.
And the music not for them anyway.
It's 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 for everyone who wants to listen. I'm gonna say,
It
but
is. It is, but they can't tune in the same way somebody with life experiences can tune in.
exactly,
Like
and
adult experiences.
exactly. It's like if you went to a fucking college campus and like, oh, this or this, I'm sure it needs to be a better representation. Like maybe be half and half, because I mean I really do like Future album as well.
Hell yeah.
But they're two different albums. To even compare those two, it's like it's not comparable.
It's not. It's not. I love Future though, but it's not.
It's those are not comparable albums at all. Like, how are you gonna pit a club bop compared to an introspective piece of art?
Yeah. I don't know. Like I said, he know what he was doing. I mean, he did that shit. I don't know why people. So you feel like people just trying to make Kendrick look bad or make it seem like
I think
trash?
I think there's a lot of like this younger generation who try to put it out there like, oh, I'm not listening to Kendrick Lamar, and it's this Gen Z kind of, which is the reason why I had Skeezy Black and I wanted him on there, because like they're not really tuning in to listen to the lyrics or the words like that. Right. They just like this whole new generation of like the youth, like they're only listening for that drill type of beat, like boom bap, don't care about a bitch, Future, kind of like Young Thug, Lil Uzi, NBA Youngboy. They're not listening for like lyrics and stuff like that. Like that's not what they're listening for. And I just hate like this divide that's trying to be created. Cause why can it, like, it can be, they both can exist. There's for two sure. Like that, even like on the album, Kendrick Lamar was like, he's like, I'm more Kodak Black. It's like he likes that kind of music. It's like he has that side. There's just different sides of right. Our culture and our music. It's not all one sided. And like I hate the split or the divide saying this or this. It's like you can like both. But
one thing about life is always gonna be comparisons. Always gonna be this or that. Like we're gonna be doing that to the end of time. It's always gonna be LeBron or Jordan. It's always gonna be.
But that's more comparable though. It's like they're both great athletes and basketball and stuff like that. But comparing Future to Kendrick, it's like, let's start off comparing J. Cole to Kendrick or a Boss to like a JID
Benny
or Reason.
Yeah.
Or like, there's so many, like when you do those comparisons to certain people, it's just like you're gonna always like draw up that kind of conclusion like that you want, that you knew was gonna happen. Like you knew what they was gonna say before you talked to them.
Yeah, that's some nasty work from academics there for sure. Yeah, go ahead and get into the next one though. Into your last one.
All right, so the next one I got is Cash In, Cash Out. It was a Pharrell track, it looks like, on Apple Music, and it's featuring 21 Savage and not NBA Youngboy, but I'm sorry about that. 21 Savage and Tyler the Creator.
Yeah.
And Pharrell's not really much on the track, and it sounds heavily like a Tyler the Creator track, to be honest.
It does. The beat is definitely Pharrell for sure.
Yeah, but it definitely has some. When Tyler gets on the track, it's definitely his producing and his. He definitely threw some sounds in there.
Possibly, I'm gonna have to look at the credits and check that out. But yeah, I love it. I can't say enough about it. I think 21 came in, did his 21 thing. He slid on it, and then Tyler came in.
21 be doing the same verse every song.
I ain't gonna lie, he
every fucking song. I swear to God, 21 does the same song.
He do,
but it don't matter. It still sound good.
That's what I'm saying. Like if it ain't broke, don't fix it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I ain't gonna put it out there. He dropping the same record every single time, the same verse. He just twisting. He's twisting up the words and the context, but what he's talking about is the same fucking thing. For sure. Every single track, and for you to go out there and be like, telling another nigga he should stop, but you dropping the same shit, just with good producers and Metro Boomin who's mixing your shit, and Pharrell top, it's just like it's a little funny to me.
What you mean? He told somebody to stop rapping?
Like he went on a record on, it was on some pod or something like that. 21 Savage went on, He was talking about how rap and hip hop ain't like there's too many artists and it's not for everyone. People should quit. And it's just you getting the best production, the best like producers, like you're one of the lucky ones. There's so many artists who just have so much more talent, who can do so much more with those beats,
But they don't have that it factor though.
but they don't.
21 Savage has an it factor.
I guess you gotta have it all, right?
You gotta have an it factor. You know what I mean? Like he ain't there just because he just like he's there because he has it. Like it's that thing that people talk about, like it.
Maybe nigga just like his voice. And I've went there before. Like some artists just sound different on the record, and that's kind of what gets people on. It's just the way they sound on the beat, rather than what they're saying.
So you would prefer he wasn't even on the song?
I didn't need him on the song at all. I think there could have been another rapper right there, and I mean the standout was definitely Tyler the Creators and the production of the beat.
Totally agree. I am still glad he was on there because I fuck with 21 Savage. Like he seemed like a cool dude. I like his music, so I like that he was on there, but it didn't need him.
Yeah, I'm just saying if you put like some other artists in the same room with some of those producers, you're not out rapping them like that. Like you're just doing the same shit every single time. Like it's
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm just hearing the same shit every record, but just on different production beats. And the beats are just amazing. And the production is amazing. The switch ups is amazing. The sound is amazing. But you're dropping the same verse every beat, and it's just I don't know. At this point, it's just like I can't give it up to 21 anymore. Like it sounds like it's a good record. Like for sure, I'm gonna keep playing the record, and I do like his verse, but it is the same fucking verse. But that's just my opinion.
No, I agree with you. I agree. That's not even up for debate. Like, all right, let me get into my last one right quick so we can wrap this thing up. So the last one I want to bring up for you is Jaslyn Gold. Don't ask me why. Do you love or hate that one?
All right, so Jaslyn Gold is a Detroit artist, I believe. Maybe sometime we get her on the pod. But yeah, like I found her out through the Mo Vega when I was listening to his new project, Poise Under Pressure 2. She had a track on there that she was featuring on. It was real dope. The track in particular I'm talking about is From the Start. Phenomenal verse on there. So it made me go and listen to her project. She had an EP called Lost in the World EP. So make sure you guys go check that out, all the friends out there. And yeah, I mean, I really love that track on this EP that she dropped. And I'm looking forward to hear some more music from her, actually.
Okay.
So Jaslyn Gold, shout out to you.
I'm gonna have to check that joint out. Yeah. So let's go ahead and wrap that joint up, and then get into our highlights. So, do you have anything you want to highlight this week?
Yeah, I want to highlight a new project that just dropped from, I believe it's pronounced Decamp, talent show. Man, that project is fucking phenomenal. Fire. So make sure you go and tune in. It's on YouTube from what I saw. So go check it out. Talent Show Project. And make sure you run them likes up. You comment here. Tell them that we brought you there. So check us out.
Cool. Yeah, definitely check that joint out on YouTube and run they views up, run them likes up for sure. Today I want to highlight a jazz artist that I actually. So when I went out yesterday, I randomly found like a vinyl store. It was actually like a DJ in there, and it was like he was DJing, and they had like vinyls for sale. And I always I collect records, so always looking for something new, something I don't have yet. And I actually found one of my one of my favorite albums, like one of my favorite jazz albums called Fancy Dancer by Bobbi Humphrey. She's like a flautist, so she plays the flute and shit like that. So shout out to Bobbi Humphrey. Shout out to that shit. So I can't wait to spin that motherfucker. So if y'all get a chance, listen to Fancy Dancer by Bobbi Humphrey.
I just recently bought a vinyl. I'm still waiting. I guess I pre-ordered it.
Mm-hmm.
I bought a pre-order vinyl of Face, which is from Blueface Ray.
Oh, Babyface Ray.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Is it Blueface Ray?
Babyface Ray. My fault. Babyface Ray released his Face vinyl. It was the black and red. It's like kind of like limited, so I went ahead and pre-ordered that.
Okay.
So I can't wait for that because out of albums that I'm really spending the most this year, that's definitely top 3. And he just dropped his deluxe. I know I said that in the past, so
yeah,
I'm really fucking with Babyface Ray. Like that's one of my favorite artists of this year.
Yeah, man. Shout out to Face, man, for sure. Yeah, man. So I guess with that being said, man, let's go ahead and wrap it up all the way. Thank you so much for listening. This has been The Friends Podcast, man. Tap in everywhere we are. Like us, comment us, all that shit. Follow us on Instagram too. We be on there.
Yes, sir.
We got some good posts coming up for you guys to, peruse at your leisure. You know what I mean? All kind of shit like that. So let's get up out of here. This has been The Friends Podcast, and we out.
All right, peace and love.